Alright, hello and welcome to Echoes Color with Jefferey Morrison. How's it going? Alright, we're gonna sneak in a whip and chat here today. Craftably's Midnight Warrior by Sarah Burrier. 20 inches by 28 inches, round drill. 62 colors in total, with including 2 ABs, which stands for Aurora Borealis, and they're an iridescent coated type of drill. The sparkle is a little brighter than that of regular drills. And 2 rhinestones, silver-bottomed drills with a translucent riveted side, which is where the color is. The top side, if you will, the dome side. Convex. Yeah, I think convex is curved. Okay, so yeah, I did like 3 weapon chats yesterday. Yeah, it was Christmas Day, and I was like, yeah, we did the gifts and stuff. Yeah, I just came out here. It was a very chill day. It still had been storming, but it's considerably better today. It's trying to snow, but yeah, I think the system's like calmed down. Yeah, I was stuck in my house for 3 days, and yeah. Finally went to the bank to get some things figured out. Yeah, the roads were winter fare, as always. But other than that. Alright, so I have like a black left facing. I'm thinking that's 48. And there's just a few of these. Okay, so I'll grab that. Alright, hopefully your holidays went well. Or Christmas Day went well. Or tomorrow or yesterday in general went well. Just in case you don't celebrate Christmas per se. Yeah, I just stayed inside for that 3 days. I couldn't go anywhere, and there was like an emergency alert issued for people not to go on the roads. And as I probably mentioned in a couple of whipping chats, there were still people driving on the roads regardless. So yeah. Oh well, in a winter storm every once in a while, it's not a shock per se. The snow plows were out yesterday, even though it was still kind of storming, but it was bearable enough, I guess, for the road clearing staff. I had seen police cruisers out driving on the highway here yesterday, so it was mainly the main arteries for police, fire, and possibly ambulance, and maybe even tow trucks to be on the roads in a somewhat safe fashion. But yeah, it was rather insistent. We have the Ministry of Transportation, and they kind of overlook road closures and that kind of thing. So they kind of made the call, and I guess the government has an emergency alert system, just like an Amber Alert system as well for missing children or certain situations. The two are different, I believe, Amber Alerts, but they're issued the same way. Full loud piercing alarm, 3-note alarm, or more than that, I guess. It just appears on the radio, cell phones, smart devices, TV, and radio. It just blankets all media. Yeah, all communication devices. So, yeah, that symbol was very brief. So, yeah, just put it back already. Okay, I'll just do part of the woman's face today. Yeah, I moved over to the symbols where her face actually is. Oh, excuse me. Alright. Yeah, in the next row up, we're doing the rest of her face and the start of her mask. So, well, the vast majority of the other half of her face. We're getting there. So, all right, that looks like an eye kind of symbol. I think it's 46. This is probably one we have not, this symbol we probably have not done yet. I could be wrong though. 46, this is really dark red. Oh well, check it out, it'll work. Maybe it's her makeup and then, so I think her cheeks are like blushed. Yeah, slightly redder, like under the mask. So it could just be a shadow effect. It's like a maroon almost. But that's okay. Check it out. It's worked out. So, oh, it's under her neck too. This symbol here too. Okay, yeah, just do under her neck. It's a shadowing thing, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, let's check it out. Did everybody get what they wanted for the holidays? If I know Christmas, it's Christmas Day usually for gifts, but for other holidays, do you do gifts at a certain time, or is it a gift a day? I'm not entirely sure. I want to say Hanukkah, but is it Chanukah? I'm probably saying it wrong. I'm sorry, too. Where you light 8 candles over a certain amount of days. Yeah, I think it's 8 days. I think it began before earlier last week. It's just like 8 days. We're light a candle a day on a menorah. I see it depicted in some Hallmark movies, but that's not an entirely... That's probably a subdued description of the events of that tradition. No, it's a different tradition. I just don't know too much about it, that's all. But the menorah is definitely a symbol of light. I heard part of it described one time. But yeah, holidays are observed differently for everybody, so... Not a bad thing. So it's just basically about family and being with ones you love and overall, like, really. So, but yeah, there are different perspectives and deeper, meaningful symbolism in each of the traditions over the holiday season, of course. So. Yeah, as I've mentioned in the past WIP and chats, their Christmas traditions have been subdued. We recognize Christmas, but we don't get overly entangled in it, per se. I don't know, we as a family spend time together, and I'm going to see my brother tonight because visit got postponed due to this 3-day snowstorm event. So, better safe than sorry is how that went, but that's okay. can always reschedule. But yeah. Yeah, I've mentioned that I have been reading Outlander and The Wheel of Time. I have read the first Outlander and Wheel of Time, respectively. And yeah, there are major events or major themes described in those books, but they're kind of broken down in slow motion and described, as I replied back to one of the comments. There's a major event or a major plot point in the book. It happens, but sometimes, for example, in Outlander or Dragonfly and Amber, there was a major event. And since the viewpoint of the story is from Claire Randall, the main character, the protagonist, main character, same thing, just a fancy way. There's a certain part in a chapter or in the story where there's a certain mark, kind of a squiggle mark, and the point of view can change. And this time her husband was explaining his part, his perspective within the same chapter to Claire, but it was his viewpoint that was describing what was going on where he had been previously. So interlude, or I'm sure there's a fancy term for it, but yeah, so the point of view can change. But mostly it stays in the main character's point of view, what she sees at certain events, and it does jump around to her husband, the other main character is pretty major too. Jamie something. Jamie Randall, I guess. No, that was her, Claire's name. But anyway, that's how the point of view in a story can change, and how you get clarification or a deeper interpretation of what you're reading or an event explained from a different perspective, yet being able to describe an event where the main character was not. She was in a different location at the time when the events were being described. The events that her husband Jamie were being described. So it's an effective storytelling way to tell a story. Kind of jarring, but then once you know what's going on, it's oh, okay, cool. So that's what happened at that point in time. The event had already occurred, but Jamie and Claire were to get back together after the event, and he was explaining to her what was going on. So yeah, there you go. Pretty interesting way to relay a story or an event. That's one way. Different points of view when it comes to telling a story. First person, omniscient, third person. Not sure if there was another way. First, third, omniscient, which is just everybody. You're looking at all the characters. I think Wheel of Time is omniscient. Right, getting the story, the author, the writer can jump around if characters are separated or something, or separate events are going on. Yeah, I think Wheel of Time is omniscient. So, yeah. There you go. I'm no writer, but yeah, in English, yeah. English courses, you kind of get points of view. Like, you learn about that kind of thing. I did at least, but yeah. Okay, these are our lips here, so there's this kind of shading here too, just to kind of emphasize that the light's shining possibly on her face. The moon's behind her, and yet there's lighting on the front of her face. I don't know. I'm not going to question that, but art. But yeah. Oh, it's still an awesome piece. This is wonderful to be putting drills onto. And yeah, it was mainly to check out a craftable piece when I couldn't get a certain piece beforehand, or I hadn't realized that I had more craftable pieces, craftable canvases hidden in my stash, which I now do. Which I now know I do. So yeah. Somewhere down the road, I'll do another craftable. This won't be the first and last time. But pretty good. There's a couple of quirks with the sticker sheet and the symbols on the canvas, but I mentioned that a couple times, but not exactly a deal breaker in my opinion, but yeah. I don't know, maybe that's how symbols could be printed, or just a misinterpretation of the symbols. It's just makes me look at the sticker sheet, double check it, even though I've done the color. I just double check the legend to see exactly where I'm supposed to put a certain color. So I have not had to at this point take drills off, like reverse diamond paint or frog. Leapfrog or whatever that's called, the drills off the canvas. I've had to correct the position of a drill, or if a drill has fallen onto the adhesive, I've had to remove it that way with tweezers. But as in like screwing up a color or something like that, not yet. You definitely hear about it, and yeah, I cringe every time, but I do also feel sorry for any individual that has to go through that. It happens, for sure. But I think spilling drills because of a pet or something, I see that post a lot more in social media. And that's still terrible too. Like, that terrible to hear about or see. But yeah. Accidents happen. Yeah, just try not to panic. Yeah, it does suck. I agree. But yeah, just don't panic too much. You can fix it. Could be fixable. I hope. Thankfully, I've seen colors, like varied different colors spilt onto the floor. Whole sets of drills. Yeah, that's just yikes. But yeah, most times accidents can be salvageable, but yeah, I don't wish that upon anybody, nor do I want to encourage it for anybody, for a whole set of drills to be spilled on the floor. No, don't wish that upon anybody. That just sets everything back. Yeah. And yeah, people really don't want to be sorting drills. They'd rather be putting the appropriate drills onto adhesive onto their canvas to complete the piece. But yeah, take a deep breath, take a minute, process the situation, ask for help, contact support from wherever you got the canvas. Maybe they can replace the drills. Yeah, just overall, just take a breath, process, and yeah, just approach the situation without totally losing it. Even though that is probably not the easiest thing to do in that kind of situation right off the get-go. It is understandable to react accordingly. It happens. But yeah, I'm sure the diamond painting community would be able to help replace drills. Yeah, there are strategies. I always hear pantyhose on over top of a suction tube of a vacuum. Drill vacuums, miniature figurines or something that have a motor which pick up the drills. I've spilt like trays of drills onto the canvas, onto the floor. Probably struggled opening a bag, but yeah, we all spill drills. But yeah, there's some scopes that, yeah, are understandably distraught ridden. Yeah. Yeah, young children will be, children and cats or pets in general, yeah. Their attitude changes for a flick of a tail some of the time. But yeah, they're just naturally jumpy, I'm sure, some animals. Or they're just excited to see you, etc. Various reasons. Okay, yeah, just under her neck here, and yeah, just more shadowing on her face here. Background's basically taken care of, minus a couple symbols. Yeah. I think that's a strand of her. I think this is still her hair here, and then background right there. But it makes the canvas make sense once you have the drills on it, and are probably about that distance that you're watching from. Yeah, it looks more like a complete picture from a little bit back. So yeah, that's diamond painting for you. A bunch of drills, individual drills, or a mosaic per se. This is partially what diamond painting is derived from. Mosaics, individual tiles. In this case, drills, round or square, to form different shades and colors put together to form a picture. So yeah, that's one description of diamond painting for sure. I've heard it can also be cross stitch without the floss. Accurate. Color by number, or paint by number without the paint or the markers, pencil crayons, etc. Yep. Yeah, there are sometimes numbers on the canvas, but yeah, that just general synopsis is a good way to describe diamond painting. So, yeah, they're very different, accurate interpretations of diamond painting. And then other people have not like touched it or just are terrified at the sight of little tiny pieces. And yeah, to put these tiny pieces on here, that takes forever. Yeah, I think that was my sister-in-law once. My parents, you're crazy. It might have been my brother. You're crazy. You have way more patience than I do. Yeah. it takes time, patience, dedication. Yep, for sure. Some days I just look at a canvas and go, yeah, I'm really not feeling this today, but I'll just sit here anyway and take a stab at it. And then that feeling ebbs away once I have part of the section filled in after doing a color or two. Yeah. Times where I can get bored with a piece. Certain sections, the intricacy of it sometimes, but at the same time I do appreciate the level of detail in a piece of this nature or any canvas. Just seeing a picture of the corner of a Chuck Pinson landscape, like just part of a completed section, I was like, that has an astonishing amount of detail just in that corner alone. And then I get a response. There was a response in the thread that, yeah, I'm contemplating hanging it in my living room already. So, just from doing that one corner. Yeah. Chuck Pinson's pieces are, yeah, articulate with their detail. But I'm sure that's just one artist's rendition or piece that addresses or offers intriguing or spellbinding amounts of detail in the pieces. So, yeah, from my experience, Chuck Pinson pieces are really deep with the appearance of depth and intricate tiny details that almost come to life once you put drills in a certain area. Hidden details come to life. What might have been just a blur of colors in one spot suddenly becomes like a fox or something, or a dog or a cat near a fence, that kind of thing. Usually if you see something in the grass, like colors in a grassy part of the canvas, or kind of like a flower bed looking part, yeah, it's going to be flowers. Yeah, that's kind of a dead giveaway. Colors like just in a grassy area in some cases. Yeah, like, oh, okay, this is going to be a bouquet of flowers or a bush of flowers in this corner, for example, but yeah. Alright, so yeah, you've been watching Echoes Color with Jeffery Morrison. Down below in the description, I put my Facebook profile name, my Echoes Color Facebook business page, and my Instagram. All three, I just try to update simultaneously with a kind of section completion update, which I did yesterday, I believe. For example, yeah. I just do those kind of updates just to kind of show where I am in the piece. So WIP stands for work in progress. I mention terms every once in a while, so hence my title, Work in Progress, and then number. Yeah, I just keep counting upwards. That's basically my style. There's really no other significance to the numbers. It's just how many I've done. So yeah. I also list a couple of my walking challenge website links, which of course I'm not affiliated, partnered, or will receive a commission from anybody clicking those links or visiting those websites, simply for informational purposes. Conqueror being Lord of the Rings, 5-part fitness challenge. I walk every day a certain distance, 10,000 steps maybe minimum, or try to. I usually hit the 10,000, but anyway, yeah, that's just down there for information. But yeah, other than that, enjoy the rest of your holidays if you are still on holidays. I think that sounds pretty normal this time of year. And yeah, I'll probably see you again soon. Bye.